I will now explain a little bit about our drug, and that is called INZ-701 and is a human engineered form of the enzyme, of the ENPP1 enzyme. And I need to mention that the enzyme in normal state is bound to the cell membrane, and we have taken the part that is active and is basically the business end of the enzyme, so to speak, and have fused it to a FC fragment, which is done to extend the half-life of the enzyme to make it a very convenient dosing schedule, and that is now being used as a drug, and it needs to be injected currently twice a week subcutaneously. So eventually in the future patients will be able to do it themselves, and we're currently also investigating if the drug could potentially be used once a week, which would make it even more convenient for patients. So currently we have clinical trials ongoing. Very importantly, the ENPP1 trial is actively looking and recruiting patients. Those patients are adults. We are initially generating safety data in adults, so 18 years or older. We have clinical sites in the US and we have clinical sites in Europe. We also have an ABCC6 deficiency trial ongoing, again looking for adults, and again we are enrolling patients in the US and in Europe in that trial. We have recently announced the first results of these trials. Of the first dose cohort, the first group of patients has basically completed their initial kind of study part. All of these patients are now in an extension study. We'll keep patients on the drug for as long as they want, they wish. And we've been very pleased with the results we've seen so far. Our drug, INZ-701, has been able to rapidly increase the levels of pyrophosphate from, as I mentioned, this very low level, basically pretty much into the level that you would find, in a healthy volunteer that doesn't have the disease. So that level has been maintained over time. We now have results all the way to about 3 months for these patients, and of course are continuing to gather more information. The overall length of this study can be up to a year, and that's also, so that's what's ongoing. And but we already know now that the pyrophosphate goes up quickly, and it goes up in all the patients very nicely, and it stays where it should be. So this is giving us, and it's been well tolerated. I should mention that as well. Patients haven't had any serious adverse events, and any adverse events have really been not related to the drug, which is very important. And we haven't seen any injection site reactions or injection site pain, which is also always important for patients. So we're very pleased with the progress so far, but of course there is a lot of work to be done. This year we're going to complete these studies that I just described, and then we will plan our pivotal studies, which means the registration studies, and those will initiate in the first half next year. We're then launching 3 studies in, as I mentioned, the 3 age groups. It's very important to tailor the studies to the age group. So in the infants, in the adolescents, and in the adults, all of these trials will initiate in the first half of next year. That's where we're at.